Alright, we're gonna just do a quick video on a refresher for graphing lines. So if it's escaped you, we're just gonna do a simple version. We're gonna graph only with the slope-intercept form, which is the best, and then look at a few variations on writing equations given some information. So let's graph some lines. And remember that ideally, we'd like to have y equals mx plus b, the slope-intercept form. Now, it's not the mx plus b inner form, or y equals mx plus b form. It's the slope-intercept form. So don't forget that. This is the y-intercept. And this is the slope. Right? If I want to graph y equals 3/4 x minus 3, then my y-intercept is -3, where it intercepts the y-axis is -3. And we go up 3. This is rise over run. The rise, up rise is 3, and the run, that's positive to the right, 4. Okay. And, it's just as simple as that. If you, for instance, had x plus 1/3 y equals 2. Well, we want y equals, so let's get there. Let's get y by itself. So we'll subtract x from both sides, multiply by 3 on both sides. Okay, now we're ready to graph, and the y-intercept is 2. And the slope is -3, so you go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Because you can think of that as -3 over 1. And now we just draw our line. Alright. So now we know a couple things. We know about y-intercept, we know about slope. Let's take let's say that I drew a line, and it does this. Okay. Let's switch over to red, and that way we can distinguish between these two lines. This one's going to be the red one. Goes to this red point, this red point. And I want to go the other way, write the equation from the given line that I see. From this, I know that m is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I can count out the slope. It goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it goes over 1, 2, 3, 4. So my b is 5, and from what I just did, m is equal to 5/4. So y equals the slope times x plus b, which is the y-intercept. There you go. And how much easier would it be if a problem were to say, hey, we've got this this y-intercept, and it's -2, and the slope, well, that's -3/4, and so it's as easy as y equals -3/4 x minus 2. Okay, so if we have a slope and we know the y-intercept, it's easy. We can do that. We can write the equation based on that information. What about if they tell me something like a point and the slope? They say that the point that the line goes through, one of the points that the line goes through is 3, 4, and it has a slope of 4/3. Okay, it goes through this point, and the slope is 4/3. Now I could say y equals m x plus b, and then I could say, hey, you know what, I know that it goes through this point, so I could substitute in a 3 and a 4 and then solve for b. Well, this 3 cancels with this 3. Alright, so 4 equals 4 plus b, and b equals 0. And then I go back and say y equals 4/3 x plus 0, or just y equals 4/3 x. Take those away. What if they just gave me 2 points? -2, 1, and 4, 6. Well, if I had a point in the slope, then I'd be good, but all I have is 2 points. But 2 points, we'll find out, is enough to find out the slope. I mean, I don't even need to draw a picture, but I will just so you'll see it for the first time at least. -2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. So we have this line that goes through, and we could just count the slope off. It goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the slope is 5, 6. Okay. Well, I could do all of that again, just like this. Solve for b, put b back in. Or there's this thing called the point slope form. And it goes like this. y2 minus y equals m times x, actually y1, let's call it y1, and x2 minus x. And actually it would be a little easier if we did it a little differently. It's all the same. It'll all come out in the wash. But if we do it this way, we don't have to deal with so many negatives. So if we do y minus y1 and x minus x1, and y and x are just y and x, just like they appear here. They're just y and x as variables, and x1 and y1 are just an x and a y from a point on the graph, like, say, this point or this point. So y minus, I'm going to use this one, 6 equals m, 5, 6, times x minus x1, which is 4. So y minus 6 equals 5, 6x minus 10 thirds, and then y, and then add 6 to both sides. 5, 6x plus 6. Let's see, this is 3 1/3. So plus 2 2/3. Right. Yep, that's right. So if we were to add 6 and, found a common denominator and all that kind of stuff, we'd eventually come to 2 2/3. And the point of this video is not to add fractions, but to review lines. Okay, so whether they give you a point in the slope, 2 points, and you find the slope, and then you use the point slope form, or you could find the slope and use this and solve for b, however you want. But one more thing that I want to show you is there's this quote-unquote formula for the slope. Why do I call it quote-unquote? Because it's not really a formula, it's like the definition. Right? It just pretty much follows, right? I pick a point, I pick 2 points. Here's one of them, x comma y, x comma y. I'll take the y of one of the points and subtract the other y, and I'll take the x from the same point and subtract the x of the other point. And that just makes sense here because its rise. The rise is the distance, the vertical distance from here to here. Well, I just take this y value, subtract this y value, and I find how far it is from here to here. Same for the x. I subtract this y value with this y value, and we find out what the distance is from here to here. And just make sure you do it in the right order. If you pick this one to be your first one, make sure that you get x1 and x1 and y1 from the same point, and x2 and y2 from the same point. Okay, let's try this one out. This would be, for this one, I'm going to choose this to be my second one. Okay, so y2 would be 1 minus y1, that'd be 6. Then I come back to this point here, negative 2 minus 4. And this would be negative 5 over negative 6, or positive 5, 6. So there's another way to find the slope without having to draw it out and count it. Much faster this way. Much better because you don't have to rely on your graph. Maybe your graph would turn out to be bad. Okay, so that should give you everything you need as a refresher to graph lines and write equations of lines. So good luck.